All right, guys, we're back at it. Part 2. Jeff Perry, NFTs, crypto, all the things. If you guys aren't sure about these topics, make sure you tune into the part 2. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now.
No, it'll be fun. You can probably get a viral video you dropping a bar on your neck or something.
No, I'll be all right. I trained through worse conditions.
So basically, the whole decentralization thing, it's like next level because people hate that all these big institutions have all their data and they control what happens. If you can have a transfer of value of something in a decentralized manner, meaning no one owns the protocol that created it, it's just a lot more libertarian, like it's a lot more free. Like, but again, where's all the money that's in Bitcoin? There are plenty of sovereign entities, but there's like, you have to understand the markets are so manipulated and the big boys are already loaded in. So it's like, oh, it's decentralized, sure, but the whales still control the price action. They'll still dump the price on your head and then buy your coins as you're selling them into fear, and they'll buy back cheaper. And they do that. It's a rinse repeat cycle. So yeah, it's a decentralized protocol, meaning there's a bunch of different validator nodes. Anyone can set up and start verifying transactions or mining Bitcoin, and yeah, just like that protocol is decentralized, if that makes sense. Feel free to ask more questions if it doesn't. No, because there's gonna be some people watching this. Like, I'm gonna share the podcast, obviously, with my NFT community, especially if we start talking about my projects. Yeah. And they know way more than me. So I'm sitting here. They're gonna be like, "No, you fucking explained this wrong. Like, it's better, you know." So yeah, I'm doing the best I can here.
There's going to be also a lot of people watching the podcast that are going to ask questions like, "What does decentralized even mean?"
Yeah, no, please,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, that's the goal. Let's educate as many people as possible. So ask me. Like, your thoughts are probably valid. That most people watching this are probably having the same ones. So ask away. So what's the craze about? So NFTs, it's not like the common thing I see when I ask people around here, what's an NFT?
Cheers.
They go, it's like an image. It's a digital image, right?
Yeah, cheers your
I'll cheers
synagogue.
Israel. So most people think NFTs are just digital images, which all the money trading around, flowing around, where the mass like psychosis is, or like the just like the mania is with trading NFTs that specifically have, like, they're usually PNGs. They're not even JPEGs. Everyone calls them JPEG. They're usually PNG files. It's this nuanced detail, but like, that's where all the mania is trading like these profile picture projects, or like a lot of the projects will offer like passive income, things like that. I can try to explain. But that's where the mania is. NFT is just a non-fungible token. It's just like a data set online. And there's a million things you can do with that. You can store hospital records more efficiently. You can use them as a wedding certificate or ownership of a house, like that deed to a house. Like all this stuff that's like this crazy, messy paperwork.
That's like the smart contract stuff, right?
Yeah. So it's all on like smart contract protocols. And like, so it can be a number of things. And in my personal opinion, within 10, 15 years, a lot of the things you use every day, whether it's the fucking gym membership fob or, you know, tickets to a concert, it's gonna be a non-fungible token on a blockchain. People aren't even gonna realize that, but that's just how it's gonna be stored, probably, because it's more efficient and it makes sense. But there's right.
To you.
That's why it's not relevant today, because no one really understands it. Even like the regulating bodies of the government, they're still trying to figure it out. So it's going to take time for this adoption to come about and for the technology to advance. It's all so primitive. It's like the Wild West. Like, all these coders are rushing to build things that they don't really even fully understand how it works. Like, a lot of them do, but like, there's just so much to be discovered, if that makes sense. And there's no regulations behind it. So it's like, who can build the thing the quickest, and then everyone's like compromising like scalability because they wanted to get theirs out first, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was like kind of like getting at, is knowing what's actually going to be something like you would want to invest in, or something that's just some bullshit that somebody created and they're like, yeah, this is available now and buy this, and all of a sudden like the price is just shit. Like, because it seems like a lot of people with the NFTs is like they're buying, but then they're looking to like flip right away and make money. Yeah,
so there's a huge market. It's like a lot of flippers. So it's either flippers, people who have a long-term vision for certain projects, just degens. Well, those are mostly the flippers, like degenerates that just are just aping money in, trying to make a quick dollar. or collectors of art, and they or just crypto OGs, right?
Yeah.
Because think of it this way: if some dude's been buying Bitcoin or any cryptos, let's say he has like hundreds of Ethereum because he was buying when it was a few bucks, and he's just such a believer in smart contracts and blockchain, it's going to be the future, and he's now a multimillionaire. Well, he's probably, and he loves the protocol and the technology behind it, he's probably willing to spend a few, 50 grand out of his $25 million on a digital image because it's an NFT. It's stored on the blockchain. He loves it. That whole ecosystem made him a millionaire. So he's going to ape some of that money back in, if that makes sense, to something he believes in. So there's also that. Because it's like, oh, I want to make money. It's like, well, look around. Where's the money at right now? It just got pumped into crypto hard. So it's like, you want to make money, maybe make some friends with some crypto millionaires. Maybe they know where money's going, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely like the absolute place to be, in my opinion, right now. And when I say right now, I just mean over the coming 4 to 10 years, right? Like the prices can go down for 3 years straight, and I'm still would stick by that statement. But so basically, yeah, the more I traded, I basically started learning about NFTs like last year. I wasn't that early in it, but I had held a coin called Vechain, and it's basically a supply chain tracking blockchain. That's what they originally made for. Ticker symbol VET. It used to be VEN, but then they kind of rebranded to VET now. And it's like a supply chain tracking blockchain. They are looking for like enterprise adoption of these big users that want to track their supply chain, have their supply chain tracked on a blockchain protocol that is like carbon friendly, right? Mm-hmm. Good to the climate type of thing. That's a big thing that's coming. That's a huge narrative that's going to be pitched moving forward with all this technological stuff. And that's just efficient and low cost. And so that's what Vechain is pitching for. Right now they have partners. They're partnered with Walmart China, Bayer China, the pharmaceutical company, Louis Vuitton China. The CEO is like the ex-CIO of Louis Vuitton China. And again, that doesn't mean, oh, Walmart and Bayer China, moon, like it's going straight up. Like not at all. These things can, like think about it this way. It could be a side chain that they're just, testing some things out on, and then this new coin is where they're really going to actually have this enterprise adoption. So like nothing's guaranteed is all I'm saying. Yeah. But when you see big partners, Walmart China, Bayer China, I mean, you guys know I'm not a fucking huge fan of the pharmaceutical industry, but then I'm invested in something that they're invested in. I wonder why. Yeah. You can only wonder. So I saw this. I'm invested in this coin partially, so I'm exploring the ecosystem. I download their wallet. It's a decentralized application, a DApp, I'll refer to it as well. And it's basically a wallet where you can send your Vechain to from the exchange, and you hold your Vechain on the wallet there. That you actually own the private keys to that wallet, if that makes sense. So it gives you a seed phrase. It's like 12 to 24 words, depending on where you're at. Yeah. And as long as you memorize those words or have them written down, you can access your wallet on any computer, if that makes sense. That's kind of how most of these decentralized protocols work, or all of them really. And so it's like you can owe the government like $30 million, but if they don't have your seed phrase, they cannot take your money. They can freeze your bank account tomorrow because it's owned by a centralized entity, and that centralized entity bows down to the government, obviously. Yeah. But they cannot take your money unless they torture you and get your seed phrase, basically. So that it's giving ownership back to the sovereign individual. And then now you can lend out your tokens or stake them into liquidity pools and earn a passive APR. So you're essentially becoming what the bank does. Yeah. Right? The bank takes your money and they lend it out and they get a return on it via interest. Now you, as a sovereign individual, can do that with full ownership of your money, and you can lend it out and get returns. And you're getting way better returns than anything that's offered, elsewhere. Yeah. So I was exploring Vechain, and I saw day one, it was VPunks. The first crypto project that blew up NFT wise was called CryptoPunks. It's just like these 8-bit digitized little digital images of like people. Yeah. Just like a headshot, and like, they have different attributes on them. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen them. No, yeah. And so that was on the Ethereum blockchain. Like years ago, they were actually airdropped to certain wallets for free. And now they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars each. There's 10,000 of them. Jesus. It's wild. So basically, I saw V-Punks on Vechain blockchain. And I'm like, oh shit, what is this? I heard about NFTs. Let me look into this. And it was day one. It was like only a few hundred had been minted out of 10,000. So I like minted a few, and the mint price for me, it was like a tiered system. The first 1,000 was 390 Vechain, and then every 1,000 that get minted, it's 390 Vechain extra to mint the next 1,000. So by 10,000, it was 3,900 Vechain. But so I minted a few and like 390. And then maybe the next tier, and I meant like one or two more at like 1170 or whatever it is. And then the floor price, meaning the cheapest price for the V-Punks, went all the way up to 18,000 Vechain each. And at the time, I forget what it was. It was you know, a grand or two, or like at least more than a grand. But the point is, like, I was like, I just turned 390 Vechain into 18,000 if I sold the top, which I had sold a few before then, but I was pumped. I was like, I just like 390 into 7,500 Vechain. Like, this is crazy returns. You don't see this in the stock market. This is fucking, you know, 10x or whatever, or more.
Yeah.
Or that's like a 20x. Yeah. So I was just like blown away by that. I was like, okay, this really is where the hype's at. You have to be careful because you have to understand what you're buying, and it's a digital image, and you have to research the project. Is the team doxed, meaning is the team public, or are they anonymous and they're, you know, hidden, and they're just going to basically take the money from the mint sales and run?
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I pitched behind my project that is a good site for people in the community, is that we're fully like public. I link my Instagram, everything. I'm like, look, here's who I am, here's our artists, like, we're not just going to fucking run off. Like, we're going to do what we say we're doing. And so let me actually pull this image up. I think I have it right here. So I'm participating in Vechain projects. I'm in a profit trading them, the NFTs. And the thing is with Vechain, it's such a small side ecosystem that there's not the community's pretty tight knit. It's small. But like every project that was coming out, since it's brand new, there was enough buyers. There's enough OG Vechain hodlers that have a bunch of Vechain saved up, and they support the ecosystem. They love the technology, so they're gonna mint the project. And so like most projects that we're releasing in the beginning, we're doing well, and you're making a profit on as long as you sold, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm participating, and then it just hit me one day. I'm just looking at this, and this is a project called Vechain, and I'm just looking at the images. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, what am I actually buying right now? Like, do you see that? It's just like a digitized, like, ape. Yeah. Horrible art. Like, I'm sorry for any Vechain holders out there. I'm still holding some, by the way, or one. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, they just made, like, 80 grand minting out this project. They had no roadmap. They weren't promising really anything. Yet they just made 80K selling these, like, these apes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and that was just like an aha moment. I was like, I can do better than this. Like, are you kidding me? And then I'm still sitting there buying it too. Yeah. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I'm still buying it because I'm like part. And then I realized, like, if I'm buying it, like, that like there's going to be more buyers, because it's just like, I don't know. It's this
people just don't want to miss out, right? Yeah.
They don't want to miss out, and they just love the idea of the technology, and they believe in its future. So I'm sitting here, I'm just like, I can do this. And like, when I saw Vechain, I'm like, all right, I can do better than this. So I was thinking like, oh, I want to create a project like for a while. And then luckily enough, I met my artist. His name's Rob DiTeodoro, super OG guy, super tapped in spiritually. Like, we kind of connect on that level. He's like into all this like esoteric knowledge and whatnot. And I meet him at the Kennett Square Mushroom Festival. And like, just immediately his art's like super potent, psychedelic cartoon, kind of like vibrant, really saturated. And like, I love it. We just hit it off. I'm like, dude, like, have you heard about NFTs? He's like, I know nothing. He has no experience of blockchain or crypto. He's like, but a lot of people have been telling me. And so like, the first day I met him, I was like, yeah, I don't really know how to make this work. Like, sure, it's an artist, but it's like, what would we do for the art? And like, because when it comes to NFT projects, one, you have to have the artist. You have to have someone who makes the art. Yeah. Two, you have to have someone who's able to market the project to bring in buyers. And then three, you have to have someone with blockchain coding technology that knows how to write the smart contracts to launch the minting situation, upload all of the photos, and tokenize them. And so it's like, where am I going to get all these people? I don't know any blockchain devs or coders. But again, the more time you spend on Twitter, the more time you spend in the Vechain NFT discords, you see different coders or devs like pop up, say, hey, I'm a coder, I'm a dev, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to start looking. Like, I talked to Rob, and we were like trying to decide, oh, what should we do? I was like, oh, I think like some sort of wizards would be cool. Like, it doesn't. And then he's like, I've been doing like gnomes lately, and like there's some cult following about gnomes. Like, people just love them. They my paintings, they sell like immediately. And so I'm like, all right, let's do it. You know, because it's one of those things where it's like I could sit there being like, no, we have to do the perfect art that I want to do, or it's like just start. Like gnomes, you want to do that? Let's go. And so that was kind of the decision behind it. And then again, I just spent some time on Discord searching, and I was like, and I found a dude who knows how to code pretty well, and he's like pretty tight knit in the community. And then I reached out to one of the marketplaces, VESEA.io, VESEA.io, and I was like, yo, like, what does it take to launch a project? How does this work? And he's like, basically, we cover the smart contract creation, we take a fee, and all this stuff. And so I was like, holy shit, this is actually coming together. So then I started doing some research, and I look. And I download my own coding program, or like Visual Studio Code and Node.js. It's like a programming language. And you can kind of just download templates and then edit the code a little bit. And if you have all the layers as like a separate image file, then you kind of throw them all and organize them in folders and whatnot, and then set the data right. And then you can run the generation, and it generates all the images. So like, that wasn't that hard to learn. It's like, you know, hour-long YouTube video at most. And then I'm just like, wow, things are coming together. So then we made a Twitter, we made a Discord, we started promoting it. What you can do is giveaways, right? So I was giving away a bunch of my Vechain up front, or like not even a bunch, but I mean, in the end, we did so many giveaways, it was a decent amount. But, you know, you offer, new NFT project, and you start engaging with all the other NFT projects. So you just get your name out there. And again, the community's tight-knit. And one thing I'll say is that the Vechain community, the VFam, is super tight-knit and super positive. Like, I come from years and years ago, the gaming community, and then also part of the fitness industry. And what I see is a lot higher level of toxicity, especially in gaming. Fitness, it's better, it's more motivational, but there's still super ego-based, and it's like, I want to be better than everyone else type of thing. Crypto, it's super positive. Everyone's like sharing each, like, I created this Twitter, and like everyone's retweeting it, everyone's sharing it, and I'm just like, wow, it's all love here. And like, that felt really good, and it just like made me want to keep going, essentially. So that's something I really enjoy, and that's what actually is like sucking a lot of my time into that space. So
well, I feel like crypto, it's like if like somebody's doing good and you promote it, you can do better as well. Like, it's 100%. Like a compounding interest. You reap what you sow,
10,000%.
Whereas like sometimes like some of the other things, like people think you gotta like step on somebody to like advance,
right.
But crypto, or it's,
you want to associate with, you know, people that understand like how things work, and like, but it's like, you don't want to just like, you're not, at the end of the day, you're not better than anyone else. You don't put anyone down for that, but like, you don't see that in crypto for the most part.
No, I mean, the more people that kind of know about the crypto or the project, the better, right? It's
100%.
Like,
and that's the thing, is like, people are like, oh, it's too late. It's like, no, dude, we're still early adopters.
I think I don't know where I came across it or who I heard it from, but it was like 10 or 20% of the world's invested in crypto. So it's like,
it'd probably be less than that.
I think it's like 10% maybe.
Yeah.
So I think it's like 10% of people in the world are invested in crypto.
I think it's less than that. If we're talking the whole world,
it might be
wrong. Yeah.
But they were saying like, imagine when it is 20%.
Yeah.
You know, imagine when it is 30%. Like, because that's kind of the direction we're heading, and like the more people that are involved, the more it
the more
expands.
The market cap pumps to the upside. 100%.
So more money that can be made, and
it's
interesting to see, like, man, we really are kind of still at the beginning. Like, it seems like sometimes you're late because like maybe you didn't get in at the price you wanted to,
right.
or like
the prices go down 80% for 3 years straight. You think it's over,
and all of a sudden,
no, it's just another part of the cycle, right?
Yeah. Even 10% kind of sounds like a lot.
It's a lot when you think about all the foreign countries.
Because it's like, what, like fucking 25% of the world is in like complete poverty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know the numbers on that, but that is a important statistic to bring up. It's like the majority of people in Mexico and all these other foreign countries, they don't even have bank accounts.
Yeah.
But they have a smartphone that can store Bitcoin by just downloading an app.
Mm-hmm.
So the adoption can get crazy when like you see El Salvador, another country just like a few days ago. Who was it? I totally forget, but another country adopted as legal tender. That doesn't mean the price are just going to skyrocket immediately, but it's a good sign.
Yeah.
And I bet you money the project or the countries that like adopt Bitcoin early on, like El Salvador, they're going to do well. You watch, they're just like, economy's going to flourish over the coming years. There's going to be a lot of money that just flows over that way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
It's wild. And so yeah, go ahead.
With your project, like, finish off with that.
Yeah. So basically, the project's name was Vgnomes NFT. Vechain gnomes, essentially, right? There was some other projects like Vkings came out, and so we kind of wanted to like brand ourselves like similar to them as like some of the OG Vechain projects, so that when like Vechain has some huge enterprise adoption, there's gonna be a lot of money flowing in. There's gonna be a lot of new investors in Vechain. There's gonna be people that go, oh, Vechain has NFTs, because that's another thing you hear in these Twitter spaces is that like, people don't even realize Vechain has NFTs. All the newcomers, they're like, yeah, guys, I just heard about this. Like, I didn't even realize Vechain had NFTs. So there's new people coming in every day. Mm-hmm. So that's a good sign that we're very early. Our project released before VC even had price filters, meaning like you couldn't even filter price from low to high on the collections in the marketplace when we launched. Like, that's how early it is in a sense. And like, I watched all these marketplaces come up because I was in like one of the first Vechain NFT projects, and then I watched VC create theirs. I watched World of V. I minted theirs, and you use the marketplace at first. And again, it's all Web3. It's all this like next level code. So like they don't even have it figured out. It takes forever to load. It's like crashing. It's like complete shit. But then you see over the past 6-7 months, the marketplaces they're building every day, and it's like a really good sign. So what was even your question? I went off on the side.
No, yeah, it was just more so like with the launch of your project and everything like that. Yeah. Like, so it went well and everything like that?
Yeah, it went super well. So essentially, like, one, you build a community. You grow the Twitter and the Discord. You do a bunch of giveaways. Or, like, I'm just saying what we did.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to do it this way. Do a bunch of giveaways, and you can give away, like, some Vechain. You can give away some of the NFTs that aren't even created yet, right? So you're kind of creating value before it even exists, if that makes sense, because you're hosting a giveaway. You're saying like, follow, retweet, tag 3 friends. So you're getting a lot of engagement to the pages, and you're saying we'll give away one Vgnome NFT when the project drops. Mm-hmm. We reserve 33 out of the 3,333 Vgnomes as like giveaways for promotions and whatnot. So we can give those away. It's kind of like creating value almost out of thin air in a sense. I mean, not because you're working on the project and it's coming, and they can sell it immediately on mint day to someone who's buying it for a profit.
Yeah.
So we did all that. There's a lot of like marketing that goes into like creating graphics and creating banners and backgrounds and all of the info, right? Because like people want to see like, okay, who's the team? They want to see what's the utility of the project. Is it just a profile picture that the people are going to mint it out and then you're never going to hear another announcement from them? There's a lot of projects like that. So basically our like tokenomics of it was 10% of the mint sales goes to the community wallet where it's going to be used to sweep the floor. So basically it's like a buyback, right? So people can essentially say, okay, 10% of the mint sales are going to be used to buy these back. So I should be able to at least sell these back to some extent, even if the project just like flops in a sense. But this also, it basically just helps get out of like a lot of like the weak hands or like people who are looking for easy flips right off the bat. That doesn't mean that immediately there can be some weird like FUD, like fear, uncertainty, doubt, like someone puts out bad news or like something where everyone just wants to sell and they dump the price. Like, so it's not a guarantee like, oh, you're going to make money, right? There's none of that in this space. But 10% of the mint sales went to the community wallet. 3 random mentors got like a custom painting from Rob. So like people who are interested in collecting art, like he'll literally make a custom painting, ship for free. 1 random mentor, 1 top mentor, so whoever mints the most, and then what did the third person get? Or what was the reason the third person got? 1 random mentor, the top mentor, and I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Yeah. All right, maybe I'll think of it in a second, but basically, you know, there was some custom paintings sent out as part of the project, and then it's also just the craze, right? Everyone wants to mint something and see the project go up in value because you have to bring more buyers in essentially, or provide some utility to the project. And so this was kind of our first project, right? We couldn't really reinvest like 50% of it because again, the marketplace is taking a fee. I'm paying this coder guy a fee, and so that was pretty much the project. It minted out in like 59 minutes, like right under an hour. It was like a few seconds under an hour. It was cool that we like locked that in because that's like a good stat. Oh, less than an hour.
Less than an hour.
59 minutes. Yeah, it's hilarious. And like me and Rob were just blown away. Like the Discord, it's like flying, right? Everyone's like
how many were available?
3,333.
Damn.
Now, 33 were reserved, so 3,300 technically. Yeah. And there was a pre-sale, so people can get whitelisted for the pre-sale, meaning that they can mint early. It like guarantees them a mint for something that's gonna, like if someone was away for that hour, they're the public sale is at this time. All right, I'll be there in 2 hours. It's already gone, right? So if they're getting the pre-sale, it kind of guarantees them a mint or a few, depending on how the project sets it up. So a few were minted out in the pre-sale. So it wasn't 3,300 in 59 minutes, but it was, not much less than that. And it's funny because going into it, me and Rob were just kind of nervous. Rob, my artist, I'm just like, dude, are we gonna sell this out? We're like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, what if we fail? And what I've heard from like multiple other project owners is that they all say the same thing. Even if they're doing really well, there's always a fear of like, are we not gonna sell out? And so I'm working on a second project with Rob and the Safe Haven Foundation. There's so much to talk about, but and we kind of have that same feeling. It's like, oh, is it gonna mint out? Oh, we don't know. But it's like, just stick with your gut and just go through with it. You know what I mean? So that sold out quick. We ended up using only 5% of the 10% to sweep the floor. We had the first floor sweep where it basically swept up a bunch of gnomes. Now we have like 131 gnomes in the community wallet, and we're slowly dispersing them to random wallets who have their gnomes unlisted, if that makes sense. So they don't have them for sale. Yeah,
they're like holding.
So it basically incentivizes people to not flood the marketplace with offer for selling, and then it gives them utility by having a chance to get free gnomes airdropped. So we were giving away one gnome every other day to just a random wallet. So one gnome that isn't listed for sale in your wallet counts as one ticket essentially towards that raffle. So that's a distribution method where we're distributing things back. We also, with the other 5%, purchase a Safe Haven node. So Safe Haven, ticker symbol SHA, S-H-A, is a token on Vechain's blockchain. And they're a legitimate company. They're creating decentralized inheritance protocols. So essentially, and they have many other products too. They're working on like ThorPay, which is like mass professional payments. So if a company's paying people in crypto, they can do it, with a click of a button, like a whole ledger set up to distribute payments. They're working on Trust Alliance Network, which is like a conglomerate of like blockchain professionals. So if you're looking for legal advice in terms of blockchain, there's going to be like that Trust Alliance Network. That's one of their products as well. So that's another thing is like you want to invest in companies that have legitimate products. It's not a doggy coin where the owner can inflate the supply at a click of a button. Yeah. It's a company that's creating decentralized inheritance protocols where you own your inheritance data on a safe key device, like a cold storage device. It's stored offline. It can't really be hacked, and it's split up into multiple different segments. And so, like, that's a legitimate product. Does that mean that the whole world's going to be using the Safe Haven protocol, next year? Definitely not. But it's still a safer bet than a doggy coin, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like with NFTs, because I feel like with certain like cryptos, it's kind of like. Seems just like a lot of hype. Maybe when you get in.
It's a lot of hype. Well, that's the issue is that everyone getting in, they're getting into the hype because they're not actually seasoned investors. They're not looking for things when they're low. They're just hearing all the hype. They hear
about it. And it's one of those things like if you're hearing about it and like the energy is there and the hype is there, you're probably too late.
That's when you should be scared.
Yeah. You're already too late. If you have that coin already, that
you should be selling,
then you're selling. But like if you're in the gym like I am all the time and like I was before, and you're hearing about something, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. You're already too late.
You're literally giving money to someone taking profit. Literally. So
that's like a good little like pro tip for beginners. Like 100%. If you're hearing about it and it's like exciting at that moment, good chance you're too late. So
you're buying
it's more so hype. It's like just like anything else, you gotta do your research, understand like what's coming before it's coming. You know what I mean?
And it's not easy.
No
one knows what's going to happen. No one can predict the future.
A lot of time and energy.
Statistical bets. So
that's why, like, to be honest, I was like going hard for a while in crypto. I was like really into it, and I was paying attention more. But I feel like I was still not giving it the attention it needed to like really benefit. That's why now I've just kind of accepted. All right, Collin, like you got too much shit going on. maybe just pull back on like just throwing money wherever the fuck you hear is maybe where you should throw it, because like at that time you've already missed the boat. Like it's already probably over. So I'm like, all right, I'm chilling. I still have my money where it's at, but I'm not like making moves based on what I'm hearing or what YouTube video comes out and like making a rash decision. Like I got to do this. Like I was doing that for a while. I'd be like, all of a sudden, like Crypto Boy on like YouTube would like come out with something. I'd be like, fuck, maybe I should buy this. It's already too late, man. Like you've already like missed the boat.
And it may work in the beginning, but it works until it doesn't. And more often than not, it does not work. And you're getting wrecked. So
it's like if you're not willing to actually like dedicate the time, you might want to manage your money a little more carefully.
Like the smartest thing you can do that's not going to take up any of your time is just buying X amount every week or month. And with where the prices are at, Bitcoin's at like 38, 37K right now. It's not a bad entry with where it's at. Like again, I'm some random kid giving you advice. Don't listen to me, right? But it's like, look into it on your own. But if you're buying whatever dollar amount every week for the next couple of years, you're probably going to be in a pretty good position.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously those are like the big boys. Is there any other big ones that you would say like keep an eye on or maybe like throw a little bit of money at as you go?
I mean, again, it's like I don't want to make any certain like I don't know no financial advice. I don't know anything's going to happen. I'm personally like in Vechain, obviously, but again, I've like some of my holdings from Vechain is from minting the NFT project, so I don't even really have to like buy in, if that makes sense. I just had to put the work up front, so I'm going to hold that regardless. There's a lot of like top coins. It's so I don't even. Bitcoin, Ethereum is going to be your safest bet. I could shill a bunch of different coins. Like I'm in Vechain, I'm in Safe Haven. Safe Haven has a baby market cap. It's like $20 million. There's 8.5 billion coins that can ever be in circulation. An $8.5 billion market cap is really not out of the realm of possibilities for the products they're making. If decentralized inheritance protocols like if their decentralized inheritance protocol, which is called Inherity, takes off, easily be an $8.5 billion market cap, meaning that coin can easily go to $1. Yeah. Now, again, I'm not trying to sit here and be a moon boy and be like, Safe Haven from a third of a cent to $1 tomorrow, buy now. No, but it's on the table. It's also on the table that the company fails, right? Like there's many crypto projects you look back in the past, 2018 bull market where Bitcoin went up to 20K. Mm-hmm. A lot of the top 100 altcoins, they don't even exist today. Or like you see this huge parabolic run up 2018 and it's just like this. It's flat. Came back right down and it's still flat. So it's like altcoins are risky. Yeah. Now I'm heavily in altcoins. Like I said, I own 0 Bitcoin right now because I'm positioning myself to where you multiply your Bitcoin holdings, right? You make a lot of gains in altcoins and then you transfer those gains into Bitcoin to hold long term. Yeah. So yeah.
So you think there's just more returns possibly right now with the right altcoins, and then you're going to transfer it to the Bitcoin hold long term?
Yeah. When you say right now, it's like at this very moment, actually, the altcoin risk is very high with where Bitcoin's at, and that the fact that Bitcoin's heading down, altcoins are actually bleeding harder against Bitcoin. It would have been smarter for me to swap everything into Bitcoin a few weeks ago. Even though Bitcoin's coming down, it's losing less percentage than the altcoins are right now. That's just how the market works. But there's a lot you can learn about that, how the money flows. Because generally it's like Bitcoin's going to trend up. People are going to take profits from Bitcoin into Ethereum. Ethereum's going to trend up. And then people are going to take profits from Ethereum into altcoins. And then there's these altcoin seasons where these tiny market cap coins have these crazy 100,000x runs. Mm-hmm. So, again, nothing's like one for one. There's plenty of times where Ethereum will right when everyone's eyes on Bitcoin, Ethereum starts taking off and they're like, wait, what? Like, what's happening? So it's a mess. And I definitely see asymmetric upside potential with altcoins. And I could be saying this and we could go into a year or two bear market where altcoins just get obliterated, down 95%. But I have my own risk management situation. Everyone should have their own as well. So
only invest what you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Pretty 100%.
Simple. And like you need to take your emotions completely out of it. It's super left brain analytical and logical. It's just this is what this is. Here's the fundamentals. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to fucking not look at it.
Yeah.
Unless you're a trader. Then you're 95% of traders are losing money. And where's that 95% going? To the 5% big boys that are profiting generally. And again, anyone can slip through. Anyone can become a professional day trader and like understand how the markets flow and come out profitable. But you don't see many multimillionaire day traders in comparison to how many retail day traders there are that lose money.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So I want you to put all your money in this doggy coin after this podcast. Sorry, bro. I swear it's going to the
I already have like 1,000 in it. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
And I
all right, well, you can sell your shoes. Probably you can get a more in it.
Dude, yeah, I still got it. That's why I don't go on Robinhood.
What was your entry?
I don't even check it.
Yeah.
What'd you buy Doge at?
20-something
cents?
Nah, I think it was more. I bought it like at the hype.
Prime example. So you have to get wrecked to learn.
Yeah.
Like I can go into when I started day trading. I lost a lot of money in the stock market and then leverage trading crypto. So like when I upgraded from Robinhood, I learned about this thing called Lightspeed Trader. It's like $130 a month. You got to pay commissions on every share you trade, but it was like a legitimate like stock market trading program where you have access to like these hotkeys where on Robinhood, you got to sit there, press sell, type in the amount of shares you want to sell, type in the price, hit confirm, and then it's confirming. It takes a second. If you're like day trading or scalping a position where the price is moving or your position's fluctuating a lot within seconds, you need to be on a legitimate broker or like TD Ameritrade, for example, where you can literally punch one button and get in or out.
Yeah.
So I started experimenting with that. I had some good green days, and then I got absolutely wrecked. I was down like 6.8K in one day.
Jeez.
And I was just like, fuck, dude. And so I just aped into a leverage position on mRNA. I kind of didn't want to say that in order just because fucking, ticker symbol mRNA. You know what that is, what company that is, right?
Yeah.
And this was at a time where it was like really high, like not really hype. I mean, it was pumped. My entry was like 75.96. But I had lost so much money, and I was like, fuck it. And I just kind of aped in this leverage position, and I just held it. And it came down, and I had a margin call on my account.
Yeah.
Where it's like every day it's flashing. It's like, hey, you owe us money. You lost everything, and you owe us more money. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? And then I just held that position because, again, with certain brokers, you can do that. Other brokers, they'll just liquidate you and sell your position, and you're wrecked. Luckily, I had a margin call, waited. And boom, Myrna fucking pumped to the upside. And I love the fact that I made like a 5-figure gain on that, but I didn't use their product, if that makes sense. Yeah. I just love that fact because I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this is so mainstream. Everyone's got their eyes on it. It's clearly going to pump harder. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to capitalize on this bullshit. Yeah. And I did. And I love that. Yeah. But again, I'm not a fucking pro day trader. I lost money. I just aped in at the end and held a fucking position that I was red on. And then after that, I said, fuck the stock market, and I got into crypto trading. So this is like leverage trading on exchanges. This is part of the reason that the crypto market is so volatile right now is because you can take an email address. You can go on an exchange. You can take an email address. That's it. They don't ask for any KYC, know your customer verification. They don't ask for your address, social security, ID, nothing. You put in an email address and you deposit, let's say $1,000 of Bitcoin or any crypto. You deposit $1,000. You can take that $1,000 and 100x it, 100x, meaning you can open a position that's worth $100,000. And then so you will have $100,000 of buying influence on the market, if that makes sense. You're going to buy up $100,000 worth of orders with just $1,000 of like actual initial principal, if that makes sense. So it's so over leveraged. People are taking these huge leverage long positions or short positions. Long, basically, if I'm long, that means I opened a position, I want it to go to the upside. I'm like buying the coin or the stock. I'm long Vechain. That means I want it to go up. Mm-hmm. If I'm shorting, what you can do, like what shorting basically means is that you're selling short. You're basically selling before you even have any. So you're borrowing shares. Let's say you borrow $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and you short it, meaning you borrow it and you sell it. You sell let's say Bitcoin's at $50,000 and you sell 50,000, you short $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, one Bitcoin. So that dude, you still owe that dude one Bitcoin back. So you have to buy that back. So you're short. Let's say the price of Bitcoin goes down to $25,000. So the price went down, but your short position is in a profit because you borrowed it, sold it at 50K, and now you close the short position, you buy it back for 25K. You give that dude his 1 Bitcoin back. Now you have 25K of profit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can make money whether the price goes up or down. That's another thing I learned that was pretty wild. Now, shorting is very risky, and you can lose a lot of money because, especially with how volatile it is, if you think you're shorting and then they turn it around and pump it, you lose a lot.
Yeah.
So I got super into leverage trading. I took fucking 0.99 ETH.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. That shit's running through you. 2
All
Cokes,
those Cokes,
bunch
bro.
of fucking whiskey. It's hilarious. I'm also talking his fucking ear off. So where was I at? Leverage trading.
Yeah.
So you can take a little bit of money and leverage the market, have a large impact on the market. That's part of the reason why the prices are so fucking volatile right now. Okay, so I funded a trading account with 0.99 Ethereum, like 1 Ethereum, which at the time it was like $500 or not, maybe a little less than that. And I started playing around with leverage trading. I used the knowledge that I gained from trading in the stock market, some YouTube channels that are like pro day traders that are like, you know, they all have their certain strategies. Some people are momentum traders, like they're trading momentum. They're in and out really quick, scalping stuff, really tight, like stop losses. There's other people who are like swing traders, meaning they'll open positions and hold them for anywhere from like days to weeks. That's like a swing position. So there's different positions, but basically, for the most part, I mean, I had some swing trades, but I was also scalping. And so there was this one point where Ethereum pumped from like, you know, $600 to like $800 within a few hours, and I'm sitting there, I'm just scalping it right as it's breaking a new high. I'm entering in a leveraged long position. I'm leveraging my money, so my gains are leveraged up. Like you multiply your gains, but if it goes down, you also multiply your losses. That's why it's so risky.
Yeah.
And so I'm just getting in and out, scalping the fuck out of it. I turned that into like 3 point something Ethereum, like just in a couple hours. I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is where it's at. I'm clicking a button and I'm making money. Like this, I have to learn more about this. And like I already took a huge loss in the stock market, so it kind of teaches you some risk management. But you'll hear soon that it wasn't enough. So over the course of like 2.5, 3 months, I'm trading Ethereum. And again, Ethereum's like going parabolic. It's hard to lose money when an asset's just going straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I turned fucking $500 into like 20K. It's like 10 Ethereum at the time. And I'm just like, this is amazing. This is fucking the easiest work I've ever done in my life. It is, but it's also emotional. You're staring at a chart all day. I'm literally like, dude, I remember I was with a girl and like I was just staring at the chart the whole time. If you know, and she's just like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is ridiculous. So it gets bad. It's time consuming, and it can be emotional when you're down money too. That's why you have to cut emotions from it.
Yeah.
So that's why if you're trading with money that you can't afford to lose, you're gonna get wrecked.
Oh man, yeah.
And so the more I traded, the more knowledge I gained and experience of just watching how market makers manipulate the price action. Because these big whales and these people who run exchanges, like they have all the data of leverage positions. Think about it this way. If there's a bunch of people who are opening leverage long positions, they know exactly where their entry is. They know how much of a profit they'll be in if the price goes to this point. They'll know how much of a loss they'll be in if the price goes down. They'll know where their liquidations and their stop losses are at. So if you type in Bitcoin's $37,000, I open a position. If it goes to 36,000, that's my stop loss. I want to close the position. They have that data in the back end. They know where all that's at, and these algorithms all take that into account. And so what you see time and time again is these market makers just wick the price up and down when there's all this volatility coming in, all these leveraged traders, mostly retail, that have no clue what they're doing, opening positions and just getting absolutely wrecked. Because let's go back to the 1,000 example. You put $1,000 in and you open a $100,000 Bitcoin position with $1,000. So you're 100x leveraged. So if that position goes down 1%, your $100,000 position is down 1%. So that position is down $1,000, and you only put in $1,000. So what the exchange is going to do is liquidate your position. It's like, all right, you open this position because you're a retard. You're already down all the money you put in because you leveraged so high. So we're just going to close your position. We're lending you the money. We're not going to take the loss on it.
Yeah.
Again, in a lot of situations, they don't even need that like reserve. It's all paper traded, if that makes sense. And so I'm watching these crazy dumps. You see the price, you see the market, the order book bubble up, and then you just see it fucking ripping of sell orders, and the price is dumping down. And then it's like a cascade, because every person who gets liquidated, they have to sell their position immediately. So then that position gets sold. What does that do? That sells to more buyers. It pushes the price lower, and it's like a cascade of liquidations. And they do this constantly, washing retail out. And it's wild to watch it in real time. And I sat there. I tried to short when Ethereum was breaking 2K. There was like this big sell wall at 2K. I'm like, all right, I'm going to play a little short trade here. I short it. It breaks through to the upside. So my short's in the red. I cut the loss, you know, a few hundred, $500, whatever it was. And then it goes up to 2038, I remember, comes down, and it kind of made this double bottom pattern. And it looked like it was going to break 2038. And I get long right for the break of 2038. So I wanted to go to the upside, but it gets rejected. They were kind of double tops. And so in that moment, I think I'm in LA with my buddy who's also trading. He had an even larger account with me, and we were kind of making the same trades and making a bunch of money over a few months. And so we both get long at that point, and I'm telling him, I'm supposed to stop out right now, but I didn't want to do a market sell. When you basically, there's a difference between limit sell and market. Limit means like you place an order, and it's like, I want this order filled at this price. It's like there's a limit to it.
Yeah.
And it can't be the current price, right? Because then it would just be filled on the market. And so generally you get a tiny rebate. You actually get money for placing a limit order that gets filled, because you're essentially a maker. You're a maker of, you're adding to the order book. So you're adding liquidity to the order book. That looks good for an exchange, right?
Yeah.
They want a lot of orders. If you're a taker, meaning you're doing market sells or market buys, you're taking liquidity. You're taking from those limit orders. So there's usually a small fee involved. So I was like, oh, with my position, it'd be like a $60 fee to market sell. Like, I'm just going to hold this, right? That is the absolute last thing you want to do, because it's like there was a few trades on the way up too. It's like I had my strategy. I entered my position. The position went in the red to the point where I knew I should have stopped out for the loss, but I didn't. And so if you're a day trader and you're not adhering to your risk management strategies, you will lose money eventually. Because what happened was, it was like, I'm going to wait. I think it's going to turn around. And it did. But I disobeyed my strategy. So even if I made money there, guess what happens? Next time when you disobey, maybe it's not going to come back. And maybe it's going to go all the way down and liquidate you. So that's what happened one day. I'm watching the order book. It's bubbling up. And Ethereum is breaking out of this massive parallel channel that it had been creating for weeks. And I know I'm sitting here, I'm down like 3K or something. I'm like, okay, this is where I cut the loss. Like, yeah, it sucks. It's giving back quite a bit of time that I was trading, but it's like, this is where you cut the loss. And I didn't. I held it. And that shit went ripping down. I'm telling you, the order book was flying. Like, you could just feel the energy. Like, all right, the market maker's making their move. They're attacking the order books. There's whales dumping the price right now. And I literally fucking lost 20K in a fucking matter of a day. And I'm just like, I just got wrecked. Like, I just gave back all my gains over the past few months. My boy who I was with lost 40K in that moment. And we're just like, oh, I need to make a YouTube video explaining that, because it's like a crazy story. But like,
yeah, I feel like that's like a whole.
I fasted for 2 days straight after that. I'm like, I'm not eating. Fuck, I'm drinking tea. My jaw like sharpened up. It like really regulated my cortisol though. I was like really cool about it. But it's like, when you take a loss that big, it's not like, it's still a learning lesson, because it's like, I'll never forget that. I'll never disobey risk management to that degree ever again. So one, it was like a confidence boost, because I was like, okay, I did that. Like, I turned in like a tiny amount of money into a decent amount of money. Like, why not rinse and repeat? Maybe not get into leverage day trading. Maybe, looking at NFTs and stuff. But it's like, one, I could do it. Two, I survived the worst possible situation. So like, let's just keep fucking attacking, right?
Yeah.
It was a wild time, bro. It was,
man. Good lesson learned. Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully some of you guys don't make the same mistake.
Don't leverage trade, guys.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear that from a lot of people. Don't do it unless.
Damn, that's wild. But that was a good story. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like in crypto, you almost like have to learn the hard way once.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
At
It's
least
like you have
once.
to learn once, and then you'll kind of figure it out and be like, okay.
And most profitable day traders, they've blown multiple accounts before they actually became profitable.
Yeah.
So that's like, that is very true. And that's another thing. I was like, okay, like a lot of the most successful people in this space have been in my position right now. They just didn't give up. So
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying, again, I'm pursuing leverage trading, but like I'll play around with some positions. I fucking got liquidated today, a little position, but it's like it's money that I don't care about at all. You know, it's such a small position that fuck it.
Yeah.
And when prices start going parabolic again, I'll probably be opening little positions here and there, just play around, because the gains are disgusting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely learned a lot there. Julius is fucking about to retire from the crypto game. I know that.
He's drunk, so. Yo, sell.
Nah,
the prices
I'm
are going
good,
down,
man.
bro. You need to sell. That's what everyone's doing.
Oh, I actually looked at my Robinhood. I remember initially I put in 1,000. This is why I didn't want to look at it. It's at 111 right now.
I love it.
111.
He's down, what, 89%?
Oh, man.
It's all good.
Average down, bro.
Yeah.
You put another 1,000 in. You lower your entry price.
I think I'm really good at dealing with stress because, honestly, that's $900 lost. And right now, I do not give a fuck.
It's not lost until you sell.
That's true.
Until you realize it. I'm like kind of kidding, but like it's
I'm just
true
sitting
too,
there
but
waiting for it to go back up. I know it's going to come back up.
Just hold, man.
It probably will. It's what, just Doge, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, just Doge.
And so
Just
here's
wait.
another example. You don't own that Doge. Robinhood could fucking have some crazy thing. Again, they're insured. Like nothing's gonna happen. But like this is part of the whole decentralized thing. Is like you don't own that Doge. If you owe the government money, they're gonna lock your shit up, or they're gonna say, "Hey, Robinhood, freeze the shit." Like you don't own it. You don't have the private keys. That Dogecoin is in Robinhood's crypto wallet. If that makes sense, it's not in your wallet.
Yeah.
So the key to like having like your own cold storage wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor, those are the two most popular ones, is like you truly own the private keys to your data, to your coins, and like no one can take that from you. Now there's some crazy hacks going on and stuff like that, but usually it's like like cold storage wallets aren't getting hacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So grab a wallet.
Yeah. If you're serious about it, you definitely want to get your coins off exchanges for the long term at least.
Yeah. I've heard some crazy stories. Definitely smart.
Yeah.
Some people just like wake up one day and their shit's
It's
gone.
Yeah. Clicking links. That's the thing in the NFT space is like, or just crypto in general. There's so many scammers. I remember when I first got into it. This is a really common scam. I saw like this live stream on YouTube, and it was like Bill Gates is fucking giving away like a bunch of crypto because he just made this big deal, and it's like a stream. It's like a live stream of like Bill Gates talking. And then it's like, if you send 0.1 Bitcoin, you will get 0.2 in return. If you send 0.2, you get 0.4. You double your money pretty much. It's like, send it to this Bitcoin address. And I was sitting there and I was like, this is a live video. And they make it looks like a verified YouTube channel, like Bill Gates. And I'm sitting there, I'm like ready to send it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, dude, this is too good to be true. Let's hold off a moment. And then I realized, like, yeah, that's a scam. I almost got wrecked.
If it sounds too good to be true,
It is.
It is. Yeah. There's no way around that.
Always.
That's like one of the things I've learned to be the most true over my 32 years.
100%.
Like, holy shit. Like, just
due diligence.
Exactly.
And cautious, bro.
Do your due diligence on anything that sounds too good to be true, because it probably is.
Yeah.
But
and then the most popular NFT scam is Discords. You're in their Discord server. Let's say the minting is coming up. You really want this project because there's 30,000 people in the Discord. There's only 5,000 NFTs. So like you're worried you're not even going to be able to get one. And then you get this DM. It looks same profile picture, same name. It's got this professional big message typed out. It's like, oh, we're doing the mint early. Or it's like, oh, you've been whitelisted for being such a good member. Here's the link. And it looks exactly like their link, but it's like, instead of like .io, it's like .app or like it's some different link. You click on it, you connect your wallet, you mint it, and you're just sending it to some smart contract that someone created that looks exactly the same, but boom, you just sent your money. You didn't mint an NFT. You just sent your money to someone. Or you authorize your wallet on that website, and then they go in and just drain your wallet because there was something in that code of that transaction that you signed, that you authorized, that allows them to do that.
damn.
So there's a lot of scams. It's going to get wild for sure. The regulation is coming, but I don't know when. They're slow on it.
Shit. Yeah. We just hit them with a lot.
Yeah.
You just got...
I didn't even talk about the second project I got minted fucking May 11th with the Safe Haven Foundation, but yeah.
We can get you back on before then.
Yeah, let's save that for another time.
I'm down. Yeah, you're fucking ready to train probably, or pass out.
Dude, I
How
don't
much
even
you
know,
drink,
honestly.
buddy?
How are you feeling after that meal? Like, I seen you like just go through the noodles
Dude, it wasn't the fucking noodles. It was the
whiskey?
it was the makers. You
a
saw
101
you
proof?
saw on live camera. I fucking obliterated CT in drinking. It wasn't even
I
close.
finished my cup.
didn't
I
realize you guys were
had like
competing.
fucking like 4 or 5. He had like 2 barely.
I was trying to just make it home tonight.
I
Right? Yeah,
I
don't
could
listen to
drive
this guy.
perfectly right now.
But yeah, no, I think I don't know. We hit him with a lot there. This is like a never-ending topic. We
It
could
is.
always get into
There's more
more.
to say for sure.
I feel like we like literally. It's like you only, no matter how long the conversation is, you're only like just getting the tip of the iceberg with some of this shit because it's like never-ending. There's always more to learn. There's always more information coming out. So I feel like we'll kind of wrap it up there. But hopefully some of you guys appreciate like the NFT, crypto information that we're giving you guys. Obviously, we don't want to make the podcast strictly lifting. The last couple we've been like heavy on the lifting. Today we got Jeff on here crushing the crypto and NFT information. So
I'm doing all right. There's so much to learn. I feel
oh
like
man, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's like never ending. Like
It is.
even when you think you know a lot, you like learn something new the next time you really look into something. So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely going to be kind of fun to see how it all plays out.
It is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing
It's
is
gonna be
just
painful
like
first, probably.
painful first.
But
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun if
Always-
you make the right decisions.
yeah. Try not to like be throwing money in that you can't lose because that's obviously like, that's not a good feeling. So if
Yeah,
you're
the
gonna
risk
throw
reward
in,
is just not there.
make sure it's shit you're willing to lose because you never know. It's so volatile, you never know. But I think that's where we're gonna wrap this one up. We fucking surpassed the timer.
The timer is maxed
It's
out.
maxed
it's like
out.
Frozen.
Yeah, I think we're like, this might be a two-parter.
This might be a 2-part episode as
Exactly.
well. But yeah, if you guys like the NFT crypto talk, obviously hit us in the comments. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed it last time Jeff was on. We only kind of like touched on it briefly.
Yeah.
But yeah, always a lot to offer. Appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah, bro. Thanks
Julius, you made it through a whole podcast. You had a
Made
good
it.
meal.
Barely. Shit.
A few bathroom breaks. got
Couple
him through.
bathroom breaks.
Oh man.
But yeah, I know the people always appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
You're the
Hopefully that
people's fan.
next time I'm on, I'm not gonna lie, this was like a foreign language to me.
Yeah.
Next time I'm on, be about something that, like, I had some fun facts that I didn't get to share. It's all good next time. I'm not gonna fucking blur them all out right now.
Maybe
Yeah.
one for the road, right?
You got something you want to tell the people? You want to tell the people before we send it off?
All right, so fun fact, right? I found this out last night actually. The distance between Earth and Mars, so the third and the fourth furthest planet from the sun, the distance between Earth and Mars is 152 million miles. The distance between Earth and the sun is only 92 million miles. That's just interesting to me. It almost seems like it's fucking fake, but who knows? You know what I mean? It almost seems like they're lying to us. Maybe
Hey,
we don't live on a fucking ball. You
believe
know
what
I
you're
mean?
told.
I'm just
Believe what
saying.
you're
Don't
told.
speak out.
Yeah,
Believe the official narrative, or else
I'm just saying.
they're gonna delete the video.
Jeff knows. He just doesn't want to say it out
No,
loud
I'm
because he doesn't
joking.
want us to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How are we gonna live on Mars though? At one
This is a
point?
fun fact.
How are we gonna live on Mars? Maybe
Elon
Mars
says
isn't
we're going
even a
to
real
Mars. We're
place.
living on
I'm
Mars.
just
Elon
saying.
was talking, I forget. There was a TED talk recently where he went into it. He's like, at first, 20 years, it's only going to be like, I forget what he's saying. I'm not going to make it.
We'll have to make that a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
when
Because
we
we're
all-
closer to the sun than we are to fucking Mars, our closest planet.
Seems like a
What
very
I'll send it
far
off with
distance.
is the U.S. dollars. Things are not going well in the economy with the Federal Reserve. Try to buy scarce assets over the coming years, whether that's crypto, stocks, commodities, fucking real estate, because that's another thing we didn't even get into is like, where did all this printed money go? They gave the U.S. citizens a few bucks, and then they're buying government bonds, trillions of dollars worth, and then these bonds are purchasing stuff like BlackRock, like Tesla. There's all this money flowing into these big corporations that are doing, like BlackRock is buying up all the houses in the U.S. And they're squeezing the supply, and it's going to be hard to probably own a home in the future, harder than it already is. So, like, there's a lot going on. It's wild. Buy scarce assets. Don't save your dollars. Your dollars are losing the reported 8.9%. It's more than that. I guarantee you the CPI numbers are totally contrived. The inflation is more like 20+%. Again, take it from some random dude on the internet. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. But
Entertainment value only. We're not financial advisors.
Yeah, but like, please look into it, guys, if you don't want to be getting wrecked. Because if you're saving dollars or you're not buying assets, you're going to be spending more energy, meaning working more hours to buy less in the coming years. It's only going to get worse.
It's all about the profit. So
be on the winning side of it, hopefully.
And if you guys need any type of training, make sure you go on the PWRBLD Reactive. It's only $25 a month. It'll get you on track.
Hell yeah. Hey, at least those dollars are going to something that's going to benefit them instead of fucking dying down where they can only buy a gallon
This energy is profitable.
$25 a month for health and longevity and gains. All right, guys.
The gut health plan?
Yeah, we'll talk to you after about that.
Get me on
we'll get the gut health reactive regimen. Hey. But appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, comment, like, ring the notifications bell. I don't know. Follow us on all the things. Send us some comments about who you want to see on the podcast next. Send us some comments on topics you'd like us to hit on. I think we're out.
All right, bye.
Peace. Good stuff. Long one. Had to be long.